Welcome back to another video. I am Scott with Techno Eclipse, and in today's video I'm going to talk about why I did not upgrade my iPhone 8 Plus to the iPhone XS Max. Let's just get right into it. So obviously Apple released the new iPhone XS Max. They were available for purchase on last Thursday. I saw people waiting outside the store at Apple. It was pretty funny, although it was annoying because I couldn't walk into Apple and play on them. So we decided to go to T-Mobile and they had them there already. So then a day passes and I think to myself, man, I would really like to get one of those phones. They seem really cool. That new screen, that new super huge screen is super enticing. It was awesome. I've wanted this phone for literally since they announced it, and even 12 months before that when I watched everything Apple Pros say that this is what the next iPhone after this most recent iPhone from 2017 had been released. So kind of I've been waiting for this phone for almost a year at this point because it's been leaked for forever. So I was super excited about it. I go into T-Mobile. I'm ready to trade in my iPhone 8 Plus and get the new iPhone XS Max. I pick up the phone. I look at it and I start playing on it. And then I'm like, okay, what else? What else can it do? And I keep playing on it and it's really cool. And my girlfriend asks if I like it and I'm like, it's cool. It's really nice, but I don't think I need it. And she was shocked for me to say that, and I was shocked that I said that too. But after playing with it and knowing what I knew about it, I didn't get it. It would have been a decent amount of money up front, between $300 and $400. I think it was like $400, which wasn't a big deal. I work really hard for my money and I have no problem spending on stuff that I like spending my money on. But I just couldn't justify it. I was looking at the phone and I was like, oh, we can do this now. I played with the animojis with the tongue detection, and I showed my girlfriend. She goes, oh, that's really cool. But the only person I would send that to would probably just be my girlfriend, and she doesn't use an iPhone, so she wouldn't even get those messages. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to use that feature, but there's still other cool features. There's Face ID. And I'm like, well, I have no problem with Touch ID. I'm used to it. I'm comfortable with it. It's not that Face ID is bad. I would say Face ID is better. It's safer. But I'm just like, I don't see a point in actually getting the upgrade from just a standard Touch ID to Face ID, because Touch ID is already so fast. Face ID, I'm sure, is really fast. I know people don't have any problems with it. And I'm like, well, it would be nice, but I certainly don't need it. So I'm like, okay, what else is there? And the front-facing camera with the new bokeh effect and this new software. And I'm like, okay, I don't take a lot of selfies. I pretty much don't ever take selfies. So I'm like, okay, that's out. But the new camera's in the back of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's just a very minimal upgrade, if an upgrade even at all. I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be something about this phone. And I'm like, that big new screen, that big sexy new screen, that's it. And I'm playing on it and I'm like, man, this is nice. It's the same size as my iPhone 8 Plus, just it's all screen now. And I'm like, man, this is so cool. And then I try to watch video on it. My thumbs are covering up the sides of the video. And then the video's already being cropped down because the aspect ratio isn't quite right. Then I'm like, okay, all right. I don't like this phone that much. And I couldn't believe it. The guy talked to the guy there and he was like, the upgrade wasn't that great. And I knew it going into it, but it's kind of nice hearing it from somebody else, I guess. And I walked out and said I don't need the phone. I was so surprised I had said that, because upgrading phones is something I enjoy doing. It's one of the only things that I really spend a bunch of money on, that I just spend money on. Like with my computers, I normally buy something, sell it, buy something, sell it, buy something, sell it, and then make up the cost of it. The phone, I normally just go in and buy it, and I just whatever the cost is, I just buy it. But I walked out empty-handed, and I didn't feel empty on the inside. My phone still works really, really good. I'm really happy with it. Still really happy with it. And I realized that, maybe these new phones upgrading every year doesn't make a lot of sense. I know, Scott, great epiphany, you idiot. I'm sure many people have known that for years, but I really started to think about it hard because I was really surprised at what I had thought. Because it was something that I'm not accustomed to, sort of going into a situation, and I already had my mind made up, and then switching after I get the thing or play on the thing that I thought was going to be really, really cool. And I was surprised. I was definitely a little let down, and I was just more disappointed, I'd say. I even played on the iPhone 10 and then the 10s, and neither one of those did it for me. I wanted the 10 the second that it came out. I ended up getting the 8 Plus because it was a deal that we got, and I ended up really liking the 8 Plus. But I look back at it, and I'm happy I have the 8 Plus. It's a great phone, and it does everything I need to do. It connects with my watch, it connects with my headphones, it connects with my computer, and it connects with my iPad. And I'm like, I could use any iPhone and get that same experience. I'm like, well, that one phone's bigger and better, and I just couldn't justify it because it's not that much better. The CPU performance increase is like 7% or something. I mean, Geekbench scores, it's like 700 points. The GPU performance is 2 times better. And I'm like, well, 2 times performance, that's really good. But even if there was a GTX 1080 Ti or an RTX 2080 Ti inside of that phone, it wouldn't matter because you're just playing basic apps. Even if you use AR on it, which good luck using AR on a phone. The screen, the interface is so tiny. It's like you just can't experience the whole environment. There's not enough throughput. There's not enough bandwidth to actually experience the whole environment because you are only looking through it at such a tiny screen. So who cares about the new GPU enhancements? I don't care. The games I play work perfectly fine because all games have to be optimized for like 6 generations of phones. So who cares that the GPU is, 26 times more powerful than 3 years? Like, who cares? Because it doesn't matter. It's impressive when you actually have something that can take advantage of it, such as like a desktop computer where you could plug in the new graphics card and actually notice an increase in performance because the apps are built for every computer. But you'll actually notice a difference in performance when you get that better, when you could get an upgraded monitor going from 1080 to 4K. You can actually see an actual increase in performance. But on a phone, you just won't be able to. The camera wasn't good enough for me. The screen wasn't good enough for me. The Face ID wasn't good enough for me. And all of the other extra features, because that phone watches YouTube, texts my girlfriend, calls my girlfriend and family, texts my friends, and plays the occasional game, checks emails, and does very basic tasks the exact same as every other phone. So I didn't get it. I was shocked. Absolutely shocked. I was so set on getting it. All I was thinking about that day was getting that phone. I worked like a 12-hour day that day, and I was like, well, I'm going to get home. It's Friday. We're going to go to T-Mobile. I'm going to get this phone. I earned it. I deserve it. And I didn't get it. It wasn't good enough for me. So those are my reasons. I don't think that iPhone XS Max is a good phone for anybody who has a 7, 7 Plus, 8, 8 Plus, or an iPhone 10. Those specific phones it's not good for. I could make the case that on the iPhone 6s or 6, maybe you should upgrade your phone. But honestly, maybe just upgrade it to a used or even a new iPhone 8 Plus or iPhone 8. Because that phone is still quite capable even in 2018. It's very, very capable. It'll be capable for the next like 3 years. They are making their phones too powerful. It's the problem with Apple. They actually make their phones too good. Samsung doesn't have that problem because Samsung phones with Android, they just tend to slow down a little bit quicker from my personal experience and many others' experiences. You might disagree with me, that's fine, but they just tend to slow down a little bit faster. iPhones, just with their constant getting of the newest updates, I mean, the 5S got the update, and that phone came out when I was like a freshman in college, and I graduated college a year and a half ago. So I would say don't worry about the newest and latest and greatest in 2018. The phones are so good. They've been good for 5 years. Phones have been amazing for forever. I mean, they've been so good. I guarantee you have a phone that's plenty good for the next year or two. So those are just my thoughts on this phone. Let me know what you guys think about the iPhone XS Max. Would you have ever bought that phone? Did you buy it? Do you like it? I'm sure if you bought it, it's an amazing phone. I'm not saying the iPhone XS Max isn't an amazing phone. It's better than the phone I have now, the 8 Plus, but it just wasn't good enough for me to actually want to upgrade from my 8 Plus to that phone, just because I had either the best phone or the second best phone Apple made last year in the iPhone 8 Plus. And when I thought about upgrading to the latest and greatest, the upgrade just didn't seem good enough for me. Let me know your guys' thoughts. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button and make sure you tell your friends and family that you're now subscribed to the greatest tech channel on the internet. This is Scott with Techno Eclipse. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.